Hi everybody, gonna show you a quick little demo that I did at the beginning of class today, and this is gonna talk about how to set up your final submission for your font poster. As you know, there's sort of two main elements to your final submission. One is the final font poster itself, and then the other is what I call your process page, and that's the other page that has all your sketches and your 4 digital designs on it to show your design process. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make a new document. We're going to make an 11 by 17, obviously in InDesign, and it's going to be 11 by 17, 2 pages, non-facing pages. Okay, so we got 11 by 17, 2 pages, and we're not checking facing pages. Hit the good old create button, and there we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is put my sketches up. Okay, so it's a simple file place like we normally do. Going to go to the folder that has my sketches in it, pop one in, and I'm going to make it pretty small, probably about that big-ish. And I'm going to put a little 1-point stroke around it. So that way we can sort of see the borders of it, okay? Presumably you did your sketches on white paper or white-ish paper, and so for that reason we want to put a stroke around each sketch so that we can see the outline of it, where it stops and starts, okay? So that's my first sketch. I'm going to option drag this. Hold down option and drag it, which is the same as copy paste, and grab both of those and option drag them, and then grab one more and option drag it, so that we basically have 5 running across. And it's a little bigger than my page, so I'm going to select them all and hold down Command Shift and just kind of shrink them down a little bit so that they kind of fit within my page, right? That's looking pretty good. Okay. And then I'm going to take all 5 and I'm going to option drag them down so that I basically have sketch 1 repeated 10 times. But since you did 10 sketches, you're going to have to put all 10 in. And this is where the easy part comes in, okay? So we're going to click on the second one, and we're just going to go File, Place, and we're going to pop in sketch number 2. Go to the third one, File, Place, sketch number 3, and it sizes it and scales it and centers it exactly the way the first one was. Okay, so that's kind of the nice thing about this. File, Place, sketch number 4, File, Place, sketch number 5, etc., until we have all 10. Okay, now once you have all 10 in there, you want to arrange them in kind of a nice looking grid like this so that they all look like they've been sort of put there intentionally. You know, you don't want to have like some of them over here and they're misaligned and overlapping and oh my gosh, this one's tilted for some reason. That's just a messy presentation, okay? So you don't want to have something like that. You definitely want to shoot for a nice evenly arranged grid of your sketches, okay? All right, so that takes care of your hand sketches. Now let's see how we get our digital designs in there, okay? So this is my font poster design. I've got 4 pages, each one a unique design. We've reviewed these over and over in class, so you all have these. And this is basically the same process whether you have them all in one document or they're in separate documents. Doesn't really matter, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a PDF. File, Export, PDF, and I'm just going to call it posters, pop it onto my desktop, and make sure that all pages is checked. You don't want to do a range because you do want to include all pages, okay? So make sure all pages is checked, hit export, and then we're going to go back down to our process page and we're going to do a file, place. Now when you do a place, you want to have show import options checked. And the reason for this is that you have just created a multi-page PDF. And for InDesign to place a multi-page PDF, you have to select one page at a time. So if you have show import options checked, that's going to give you the option to choose page 1 first, then page 2, then page 3, then page 4, etc., etc. Okay, so make sure that show import options is checked. Go to our posters, hit open, and it's asking us to do page 1 first. So we're going to hit OK. Page 1, pretty small also. Okay, and I'm going to put a black stroke around that as well because it has sort of a white border on the bottom. All right, I'm going to option drag that over. Oops. So it copies. File, place. Go back to posters. This time I'm going to go to page 2. Hit OK. I'm going to option drag both of those. Kind of line them up nicely. File, place. Go to my posters. Page 3. And file, place. Posters. Page 4, and that will get them all in there. Okay, however you guys line them up is fine. I think it looks better if your digital ones are a little bit bigger than the sketches, if you can, you know, so sort of use your space kind of wisely. All right, I might even make my sketches a bit smaller to give my bigger ones a bit of a presence. And all I'm doing is selecting all these at once by clicking and dragging, and then if you hold down Command and Shift and grab a corner, it'll scale them. Okay, so something like that looks pretty good, you know, for your process page. All right, and then the final step in setting this all up is to get your final poster design there. So let's say we're going to go with, I don't know, we'll go with page 3. That's my final. This is the one that the professor approved. This is the one that I've tightened up. And I'm going to select all, Command A. I'm going to do a copy, Command C. And then here, I'm going to go to page 2. I'm not going to paste, but I'm going to do edit, and I'm going to do paste in place. And what paste in place does is, instead of just sort of pasting it in kind of a random spot, it's going to paste it in exactly the same location. All right, so that it's all set up and good to go. And there we have my final submission document. All right. The last thing that we need to do, above all else, is make a PDF of this so we can pop it up into Moodle. So we'll go File, Export, and we'll name it, obviously, with our naming convention that we've used all semester. Final poster, all done, woohoo! Whatever you want to call it. Make sure your name's in there. And save it to the desktop. And it's always a good idea, you guys, to double check your PDF before you submit it, because sometimes your PDF doesn't come out correctly. So I'm going to open my PDF up. I see that everything is on my process page. I see that my final poster is on page 2. Looks good to go. And that is what I can do my submission. So I hope that helps. You guys have any comments or questions? Hit me up. Monday is your last day to work on this stuff. So let's get it going. Make these awesome. Have a good weekend. Take it easy, you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.